Walk into an international school interview, and you are facing a hiring committee looking for someone who can step into a classroom with 3 different curriculum standards and students from a dozen different countries. The career opportunities are incredible, but proving you know your subject material is only the baseline. They expect that on day 1. The real challenge is that a decade of successful teaching in your home district doesn't automatically prove you can adapt to a new cultural system. You have to actively demonstrate global competency. Committees evaluate that adaptability using a specific standard. This scorecard shows the Global Educator Interview rubric. They are looking to check off 4 distinct areas: classroom management, cultural adaptability, evidence of practice, and country-specific compliance. Trying to master all 4 of these areas from scratch without a plan will consume hundreds of hours you probably don't have. We need to look at the return on investment for your preparation time. We're going to break down 4 specific prep strategies to see exactly what they cost in effort and what they deliver in the interview room. The goal is to stop preparing blindly. We want to allocate your limited hours strictly to the actions that will actually check those boxes on the committee's rubric. Let's map this out. This chart measures our options. We have effort running left to right and impact running from bottom to top. Our first foundational strategy is building a digital professional portfolio. This requires gathering, digitizing, and formatting your CV, qualifications, lesson plans, and specific classroom activities into a single cohesive package. It is a heavy lift. The result, however, is tangible. Handing a panel a complete portfolio provides instant, objective proof that you can actually execute the teaching philosophy you claim to have. The trade-off is the severe upfront time cost, plus the ongoing meticulous organization required to update it for the specific requirements of different target countries. Because of that heavy time cost and undeniable proof, the digital portfolio lands squarely in the top right quadrant: high effort, high impact. Next, we have formalizing your knowledge through online certifications or an International Teaching Diploma. This means committing real financial resources and dedicating asynchronous study hours to a structured training program. What you get in return is the exact academic vocabulary. You learn to speak fluently about multicultural education and inclusive teaching practices, which is exactly what international panels want to hear. Keep in mind, holding a certificate doesn't excuse you from doing your homework. Theoretical knowledge never replaces your responsibility to research the strict, country-specific legal requirements for your visa and hiring. That puts certifications right up there too. It joins the portfolio in the high-effort, high-impact quadrant. Both of these foundational strategies provide the concrete proof hiring committees demand. However, because of the heavy workload, you have to start these months in advance, or they will completely consume your schedule. If your interview is approaching quickly, we need to look at strategies that require less time but still yield a strong return. Let's look at the top left quadrant. This brings us to AI-assisted scenario simulation. You feed a language model highly specific prompts about cross-cultural conflict resolution, parent interactions, and diverse lesson planning. This allows you to rapidly iterate your answers and gain exposure to complex edge case classroom scenarios you haven't personally experienced. The danger here is sounding rehearsed or robotic. You must already have enough baseline educational knowledge to recognize and filter out bad or generic AI advice before you internalize it. AI simulation sits firmly in the top left quadrant: low effort, high impact. Our final strategy is the Learn, Apply document framework. This requires deliberately structuring your current teaching schedule to learn a new concept, physically apply it in your own setting, and explicitly write down the results. Doing this actively converts abstract educational theory into concrete situation, task, action, result anecdotes. Those specific examples are what interviewers look for when evaluating your practical skills. You cannot cram this framework the night before an interview. It requires weeks of consistent, disciplined tracking to generate useful material. Because of that required consistency, the Learn, Apply document framework lands in the middle: moderate effort, high impact. These tactical maneuvers take your foundational knowledge and amplify it. They turn passive theory into the active, scenario-tested evidence that wins job offers. Trying to execute all 4 of these strategies at once is impossible. You need to match your prep directly to your current professional background. This comparison matrix breaks down 3 specific candidate profiles so you know exactly where to focus. First, we have the aspiring educator, someone preparing to enter the profession who lacks extensive classroom time. If this is you, dedicate your time heavily to certifications and the Learn, Apply document framework. You need to build and prove your baseline skills. Your trap is walking into the room relying entirely on your raw enthusiasm instead of having structured, theoretical frameworks to lean on. Next, the experienced teacher. You have local skills, but you lack international vocabulary. You should put your energy strictly into building a rigorous digital portfolio and using AI scenario practice. Your goal is to translate your existing success into a global context. The danger for experienced educators is assuming a long tenure at home will automatically speak for itself to a global panel. Finally, the time-poor optimizer. This is the working parent or the currently overwhelmed teacher. Your focus has to be on asynchronous online training and daily micro-documentation. Just be careful not to choose a program purely because it has a convenient format. If it lacks the required multicultural curriculum, it won't help you in the interview. Acing an international teaching interview isn't a test of how hard you can prepare. It comes down to how strategically you can prove your adaptability to a global classroom, using the precise evidence the committee demands.